This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we're going to talk about an important tool called Jenkins, which is our integration tool. So let's go through that. What is the tool and how to install and different things that we can do with the tool. And we will end up with seeing how we can integrate our Git, that whatever we did yesterday, with Jenkins. Okay. So Jenkins is a continuous integration development tool. So we already spoke about continuous integration. So it's basically that you will be integrating your code that you have developed continuously, so that it gets tested, it gets built, and then you are able to kind of release the product whenever you want. So by doing this continuous integration, you will also be able to find your bugs early. So continuous integration is a development practice that requires developers to integrate code into shared repositories several times a day. That's what we did yesterday. Okay. Each check-in is then verified by an automated build. So we will see how build happens, allowing teams to detect problems early. By integrating quickly, you can detect errors quickly and locate them more easily. It's very easy to locate them. Okay, but again, it will not fix it. You will be able to find out the bugs. So continuous integration brings multiple benefits to your organization, right? So one is like you can say goodbye to your long and dense integrations. As I told you in the beginning of our class, there were some integration managers where their life was not that so easy, right? During integration, especially. So all those things are gone. Increased visibility, enabling greater communication. So everybody is aware what is happening, and you are also able to catch all your bugs early and then fix them. You spend less time debugging and more time concentrating on your application and adding features and innovations, right? So you can do all these things. So continuous integration brings multiple benefits to your organization. You can build a strong, solid foundation, and you can stop waiting to see if your code is going to work or not, right? You can see them immediately. You can reduce integration problems by allowing you to deliver software more rapidly. So one of the chief scientists, uh, Martin Fowler, has given this quote, right? Continuous integration doesn't get rid of bugs, but it makes them dramatically easier to find and remove. So it doesn't do anything, but it will help us to locate the bugs early. So this is what your continuous integration happens. So what I'm doing, this is my source control server Git. This is my local computer. From my local computer, I commit the changes. Whenever I commit the changes, the build server or the continuous integration server will fetch the change and do a build test, and it will send back the result back to the developer saying whether it is successful or not successful. If it is not successful, then they will have to fix it again, and like this cycle will go on forever. This is how your continuous integration step happens. So we are going to use Jenkins as our tool. So Jenkins, it's an open source CI/CD tool, continuous integration, continuous deployment tool. It has been around for some time, and several organizations are using it for their CI/CD needs. And when we say several, right, it is almost like 95% of the people use Jenkins. Now, since the cloud is catching up slowly, they're using cloud native CI/CD tools like AWS Code Deploy, right? Azure, there might be some other tool for Azure, some other tool for Google Cloud, GCP. Those are all coming up slowly, but still the predominant one that we are having is Jenkins. It has a huge community support, and it operates on plugins, right? This is a very lightweight tool, and this operates on plugins. So there are a lot of plugins. You can install the plugins, and you can kind of integrate with any tool that you want, any software that you want, you can integrate by installing the plugins. And Jenkins is commonly used for the following: continuous integration for application and infrastructure code. You can use to create some delivery pipeline to deploy your application to different environments using Jenkins pipeline as code. We will see this how to write this pipeline as code. And then you can use it to run some batch operations using Jenkins job. You can schedule some jobs to run only at night time to do some backup, some cleanup, whatever you want to do, right? Everything you can do. And you can run some ad hoc operations like backup, cleanup. You can do a remote script execution. You can trigger some some jobs or programs based upon some event. So many things that you can do with Jenkins. It depends the based on the requirement of your project. You can do a lot of things with Jenkins. So Jenkins follows the master slave architecture. Okay, So we have a Jenkins master, and we have a all the jobs, users, plugins, everything will be there in the master, and you can create some slaves. You can attach it through SSH. We can log in through SSH or JNLP, Java Native Language Protocol. It runs on port 50,000. Okay, JNLP. It uses JNLP to connect, and you can also connect to some cloud APIs like Docker, Kubernetes, ECS, Kubernetes Engine, and all the other stuff. Right. So you can do all these things with Jenkins. We will see. We will see this as a standalone first. Then we will see how to create master and slave, and why we need to create master slave architecture, and how to make sure that we have jobs running only on the slaves, not on the master. Right? We will see all these things going forward. Okay. So there are different stages of adapting Jenkins. So the stage one was just a normal manual one that we had. No build servers over there. Developers do not commit on regular basis. Changes are integrated and tested manually, and we had only few releases per 3 months. So we used to kind of do a release every 3 months, right? Because this is a stage one. This is how it was happening earlier. Then we went to stage two, where automated builds are scheduled on a regular basis. So what we do, the developers will build their code, commit it to GitHub, and they have one job running nightly, which will build this code. For example, if it is Java, you build the Java code, and then this developer will get to know tomorrow morning only whether all his code is correct, compiled properly or not, right? So this was used for a nightly build job alone. So everybody, it will give time for everyone to check in, and the job will be scheduled somewhere around 12 a.m., 1 a.m. in the midnight. Build scripts compiles the application and runs set of automated tests. Developers now commit their changes regularly. Build servers will alert the team members if there are any errors or even success, right? So that was the stage two. But this is like, again, build periodically, right? Just every build is done in the night time only. Now what happens, this guy, a developer here, who's sitting here, he's completing his code at afternoon 12 o'clock. He will check in the code, but he has to wait till night 1 a.m. to find out whether his code is correct or not, right? So other user might again commit it 5 o'clock. They have to wait till 2 o'clock, right? Everybody has to wait. That was the issue on the stage two, but somehow that they were doing this also at certain point of time. Then came the stage three, where what we do, as soon as I commit my code, I'm going to trigger my build job. I'm going to trigger. That's very easy, right? I finish my job now at 11 o'clock. I check in the code. I trigger the job will build and let me know the result, right? Now I'm able to proceed again, right? So we don't have to depend upon or wait till tomorrow to get your results back. So this is what on the stage three. So we are going to set up this stage three today. We will try to set up this stage three. A build is triggered whenever new code is committed to the central repository. Again, this is all from remote repository. From your local repository also you can do, but only when you do a push, then this will get triggered. Okay, that's how it happens. A broken builds are usually tested at a high priority issue and are fixed very quickly, right? So in this way you will find out the bugs early, and this guy can finish his job and go home as soon as he's completed. He need not wait till tomorrow to come back and find a surprise that his code has failed some compilation, right? So all those things can happen. In stage four, what has happened? Not just building the code, there now we have an additional step that we can do to go and run the build code. You can run the code quality, you can run the coverage metrics, and you can also do a security package. That's called security package. You can use a DevSecOps, right? Instead of DevOps, you can use DevSecOps, where you can send your code for automatic scanning or vulnerability scanning tools and all, like, so you can run all those things in parallel. Okay, but this developer need not wait for all these things to come back. As soon as the code is built, he can get success, failure, and he will continue. And then once he gets the results on the code quality, code coverage metrics, then he will fix those things and then commit it. So that way all these things will run parallelly. This is what happened. Is your code coverage getting increased? So we will use Sonar Cube to find out the code quality, right? Sonar Cube is the one to find the code quality and all those things, right? And we can use Fortify for scanning, Qualys for scanning. So many things are there. And you can use Selenium for automated test cases. So many things that you can do. If you are a tester, you are aware of that. Okay, so you can do that. Then the last one is of complete automated deployment. I kind of check in my code, it triggers automatically, it does all the checks and balances, and it automatically deploys to some server in at least in dev, right? It's completely automated. It's complete. So this guy, as soon as he's complete, when he checks in, he can see it in the live in application in the server, whether it is running correctly and it is behaving the way it has to behave. So this is the stage 5, and this is what we need to aim to get to. It's completely automated, right? Any questions here, guys?
Yeah. Here regarding that GitHub, suppose like if we have to trigger, so like if as you said, it's automatically gets triggered, right? Is that
Yes.
like is that based on the scheduler we have to
So
configure in the Git?
there are multiple ways that we will be doing, and we will show you all the things how to configure that. Okay, triggering
Oh,
whenever you commit the code, we can trigger. Whenever we wanted to build nightly, we can do it. So it's up to us. You can trigger. There are different ways to trigger a job.
so we should manually trigger, is it like, or is on
No.
scheduler basis?
You can manually trigger. Whenever you check in it, you can automatically trigger. You can schedule and
Oh,
ask it to trigger at 10 a.m. It's up to you.
okay.
So what we will be doing, we will create a job. First, we will know what we will see what is a job, how to write a job, how to trigger it manually. That will be our first step. Second step is how to integrate with our GitHub to Jenkins job, right? So whenever I check in something, what will happen, right? That's what we need.
Okay.
Okay, we will
So
see
what
that.
might challenges like during this build, like from GitHub to Jenkins? So what will be our roles? Usually once the developer commits the code, so most of the things like as a build or a DevOps, we are supposed to take care here, right? Between the GitHub and Jenkins. So
Right, that you
usually
would have. Normally in organizations, what we do, we write a hook. It's called webhook, right? Whenever there is a
okay.
change in GitHub, it will trigger the Jenkins job. You have to configure in such a way for that
Oh,
repository. If there is any change, automatically it has to it will call a build job.
okay. So any fail during this period, should we always revert back for the developer, or do we have the option to do any
No.
fixes like
You can,
apart from
if there is
code?
if there is any issue, you can send a notification to the distribution list where you have a common group of both
Mm,
developers and your build engineers both.
okay.
You can have, and they will be notified. And once they are notified, they will get an email saying that their build number, this is failed because of this. So the developer will, the dev team will, they will sit together and find out whose code is having the issue. They will start fixing that.
Okay. So you mean like it's always the code that might cause the fail here in this process?
Mostly because this particular step is depending on the code only, right? So suppose if it's a Java code that you are checking in, then you would have written a Java build, you would have configured the Java build software, right? So
Mhm.
if there is any syntax error or anything, then it will not compile, and it will, this Jenkins job will throw, say it is a failure, it's not success. Then if it is failed, then you need to go back and figure out what has been failed, and they will have to take a look.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
I as a Jenkins or a DevOps engineer, my job is to just configure this job and plug into GitHub.
Mm,
The developer's work is
okay.
to make sure that he fixes all the issues that are there during the compile time. Okay.
Uh,
Fine. Let's go and see how we can install our uh, Jenkins. So Jenkins requires Java. So now it has been strictly recommended we need to have Java 11 or more. Earlier it was Java 7 or 8. 9 was not supported due to some compatibility issue. So we need to download Java 11, and then we need to download Jenkins and install it. First you need to install Java. Only then you can install your Jenkins. So Java, this entire tool is written in Java. Okay, so we need to be running Java. So there are two types of releases Jenkins actually has. One is a long-term release LTS, another is a weekly release. Okay, long-term support release and weekly release. Since Jenkins runs on Java, you need to either have the latest version of Java Development Kit or JRE. Actually, it is not JRE. You need to have the JDK. You need to have the Java Development Kit JDK 11 for your minimum for your installation. So Jenkins has two types of versions based on your organization need. LTS, long-term support release, and weekly release. Long-term support releases are available every 12 weeks. Okay, they are stable and widely tested. This release is intended for end users. So in our organization, we will be only using LTS. Okay, if you go for weekly release, what will happen? Weekly release will be made available every week by fixing bugs in earlier version. But the problem is the people will keep on fixing those errors. It is not stable. So once all those issues are fixed and tested, and once it is stable for some time, only then after 12 weeks, which is close to 2.5 months, then they will release a LTS version. So we will always use the LTS version, though the process remains the same for weekly release. The way to install both weekly or LTS, both are same, but we will be going with LTS. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so the first thing is you need to go to jenkins.io. That is the official page. You can go to jenkins.io and you can download the software. Okay, I have already installed it, but I'll just show you how to do that. Right? Go to jenkins.io. Okay, this guy here, right? Actually, he looks very happy always. This is the picture, actually, original picture. See, this is the original picture. I hope you are able to see it. This is the original picture. But what these people do during COVID, he had a different expression. Now it's war is going on, so they're just the figure has been changed. Okay. So go and click on download. You have download. You have stable release LTS and a weekly release. So you can go and download whichever that you want. Right. So I think this is the latest one, 2361.2 LTS. Click on Windows and you will be able to download. See here, it is already downloading my Jenkins MSI file. Okay, now this is not the only thing that you need to do. You need to go back and also make sure the software requirements is there and your Java is also downloaded. Okay, just make sure your Java is also downloaded. Here, Java 11, you need to download this Java 11. Okay, you can go and download this OpenJDK 11 64-bit and you can go in download this one and you can install. So first you need to install Java and then you need to install this one. So let's go and see if we can take the Java 11 download. I'm not sure if I already have the Java 11. If I have, I will share that exe also to you in our share, so it is easy for you. You don't have to search that, right? It should be JDK. Okay. I have only Java 8. Yeah, JDK 11. This is what I have. You can set up this one, and I will put this exe also there for you. And once that is done, first install the Java. After you install the Java, then once this is downloaded, just click on the MSI file and do a next. I'll show you certain things. If you have not installed your Java correctly, then you will not get your Java path. First you need to install the Java, then you need to install. Please make sure you are installing only Java 11. Okay, while this is coming up, let's go and I'll show you how to set up in Linux as well, right? There are some quite number of steps you need to do. That's fine, let's go and do that. I'll share this also to you. Okay, and by default your Jenkins runs on port 8080. Okay, If you are having any other application running on 8080, then we may need to change Jenkins port. I will let you know how to change that. In case if you are going to install any Tomcat, then we may need to change either Tomcat or this one, right?
So you're saying Jenkins only supports a tool itself supports Java, no other languages, right?
Jenkins is written in Java.
Okay.
Jenkins is written in Java, and all the plugins are also written in Java only. But there are some plugins and stuff which you will write it in Groovy language. Have you heard of Groovy?
No, Chandra.
Yeah. Okay, all this is fine. Let's quickly bring this up. Let's go and see if we can log in quickly there. Make sure this key is there with you, otherwise you will not be able to log in. Okay, we are in. Okay, let's go and try to install this. So the first step is to update your template, whatever template that we have, just update that. It's all up to date. Good. So let's go install your EPEL. EPEL is a kind of a repository for all your software. So since we are using Amazon Linux, we will use Amazon Linux extras as our this one. So go and install this. It will install all this one. So that will have all the key softwares that are there, right? See all the 65, 64 softwares, they're all upgraded in that. Okay, so we can use you can, if you want to put Nginx and all those things are available, and this is kind of a repository where you can go and kind of select this and you can install it from here, right? So this is what we do. So the next step is to make sure we get a repo. This is the Red Hat repo, Jenkins Red Hat repo. Just get this. Okay, there are few steps you need to do, especially in this one. Okay, we just got the repo, right? And once the repository is updated, go and do an RPM. In the RPM, you import the key from the Red Hat for stable Jenkins key. You will get the key. Okay, you got the key, and now you have to upgrade again. Okay, that is an update. You have to upgrade here, so it will get upgraded with all the repository, the latest things, whatever we done. Let's go and upgrade this. See, it's already upgrading Jenkins and stuff. Okay, all this is fine. Jenkins, Python, and everything is there. Now install your OpenJDK 11. That is your Java OpenJDK 11. Go ahead and do this. And then you install your Jenkins. Okay. There are 33 dependencies packages that it needs to install. It's installing Java 11. Okay. Install your Jenkins. Just hold on. Your yum is as in release that there is a lock on your yum. So just hold on for a minute, right? Then you will get it. So yum package manager puts a lock so that there is no two process running at the same time. Okay. We're going to reload the daemon and we're going to start the Jenkins. start the Jenkins. Once it's started, go back, get the public IP here, and see if you are able to. What happened? Activating, still starting, right? Waiting, just give a minute. Okay, it's done. Go to a status, you will see it's active and running now. Okay, now go back to your browser. As I told you, this runs on 80. Click on 80. See here, if you have installed your Jenkins correctly, you will get this page, unlock Jenkins. So what it is saying, there is an initial admin password. The username is admin. Password is in this place. So copy this location. Go to your server and say cat. Please go as root because that file is created as root. This is the initial password for your. So let's copy this and go and say unblock. Once you unblock, if everything is fine, you will land up to this page. Please don't install any plugin. Don't install any of this. Don't click any of this. Just close this because I want you to know at what time, what plugin you need to install, right? If you go ahead and install any of these plugins, what will happen? You will not know which plugin is used for what, right? So I recommend my students not to do this, okay? And say start using Jenkins. Okay, this is your Jenkins homepage. Okay, this is your Jenkins homepage. Let this be there as it is. Okay, let's go down to Windows now. The same thing will happen. Okay, nothing different. Same thing will happen. But only thing, please make sure you are installing Java 11. Okay, do a next. See, it will ask for the default folder. You can install the default folder wherever you want to install. And always please make sure you select in for Windows, you select this as the first one, run service as local system. So it will run as a service in your local machine instead of using any account or username password, right? Here is where I told you, right? So this is the port number that you, by default it is 8080, and it will ask you whether you can use 8080 or 8081. Test the port. For me already 8081 something is running, so I cannot put it in that one. So if you have 8080 everything proper, just say it will give you this tick mark. Okay, do a next. Here is where I told you, right? Here is where I told you it will give you the Java path. Okay, I have my old JDK. I have to upgrade to that, but I'm just letting you know, once you do this, then you will be able to kind of see here. If you are installed your Java JDK 11 correctly, then you will be able to see this. Do next. What happened? Some problem with my failed to bind. An attempt was made to access socket and away forbidden bytes access permission. So there is some issue with this folder. Just go back and check what is the problem. And since you're doing it for the first time, you should not be having an issue. Okay, I'm going to give the Java 11 JDK. Do a next. Then you will be able to move because 8 is not supported. Since I've already installed long back, it is still running. Okay, so here just do a next. Okay, and go ahead and install. Once you install all correctly, right, and go and just put localhost colon 8080, whatever number you give, right? Put that 8080, then you will get the same page asking you to unblock. For that, he will give you some path in the Windows where you can go and take the local initial password. You can take that and you can unblock. Okay, these are the ways that you can install your this one. I've given a small screenshots here how we can do in your local also, right? You can try out this, right? Same thing. Only thing, please make sure your Java 11 is installed. Okay, if you get this error, that means it's a Java error. You need to install properly, and then you have to reboot your system. Then put this, and it will ask you to unblock. That's what we did in Windows. This might be the path, right? So if you go to x86 program files, x86 Jenkins, right? C colon program files x86, go to Jenkins, and you have secrets. Under secrets you have initial admin password, right? It's a file, it's not a text file. So right click and say open with notepad, open with notepad, and this is the key, right? Whatever we put for unblocking your Jenkins, go and put this here, and you will be able to unblock. You will be able to unblock. Once you unblock, then we are done, right? This is the initial password. You can go to that place and take that, and you put it here. It will get unblocked, and that's it. This is the first step that you need to do. And once you are there, the first step that you wanted to do is after you install, go and change admin's password, because we cannot remember that initial password. We cannot keep on remembering that or copying and pasting. For that, what we need to do, once you come to this dashboard, on the top there is admin. Click on admin and click on configure, right? Click on configure, just scroll down. There is a password here, right? Go and select the entire stuff, delete it and put your own password, whatever password you want to put, right? It will actually encrypt to very long character after we put it. Okay, just put all these things and say save. Now it will log you out, log in as admin with the new password that you gave, and make sure you are able to log in. See, now we are able to log in. Okay, click on this dashboard. This will take you to the dashboard, whatever we saw initially. Okay, any questions here, guys? So this is what we will be seeing. Okay,
It's clear.
yeah, okay, let's talk about this whole page. What is there here, right? What are we seeing here, right? So let's talk about the top ribbon. This top ribbon is always static. Okay, it will not change. So you can click on here. It takes you to the home page. Just see, when you keep your mouse here, it says that IP colon 8080, right? And then this is the search to search any of the jobs that you have. Any notification that you have, you can get it here. Like there is some notification, right? It just says something. For now, just dismiss. Don't worry about all those things. And then just dismiss this and go back here. And there is one active security warning here. You can go and see if you wanted to see. You can go see if you want to see something. Okay. Then this is the admin, the username, whatever you have logged in. So you can go and configure, and you can change your passwords and other stuff and all those things there. And this is a logout button. This is on the top. Very important is this dashboard. So we will be using on the left hand side, and we will be using the right hand side. We will see all the job. So to create any job, the first step is to create a new item or create a new job. Both are same. Let's go create a item. Okay, first initially, since we don't have any plugin, okay, we will only see a freestyle project. Okay, so I will write one job in Linux, one job in Windows also, because Windows will happen through batch command. In Linux, it will happen through shell script. Okay, let's do this. So what we are going to say, I'll say my first job, right? Okay, my first job. Select this freestyle project and say okay. Once you are in, what will happen? This is the configuration page for your job. So give a description. This is my first Jenkins job. Okay. Don't worry about all these things. As we keep adding plugins, the things will vary. When I put git plugin, it will show git here, right? So all those things. So these are all some of the build triggers. You can trigger this build or the job from remote or from after any other project is built, or you can do periodically. That means you can say, I want to build the schedule, put it in the cron job. So I want to build this, I want to trigger this job every minute, right? 5 stars means every minute, right? We'll see what is poll SCM, right? We'll see all these things and come back here, build step. So execute a Windows batch command if you are in Windows, execute shell if you are in this one. If you are having any Maven related targets, we can use invoke top level Maven targets. Now there are only 3 options here. As you keep building your plugins, install your more plugins and start working, you will start to see a lot of options here. Let's go into a execute a shell. Put a command here, right? My first job, right? We'll just print that, that's all. We'll just echo this, right? And come down, and there are some post build actions are there. After this job is built, what you wanted to do, right? You can archive the artifact, you can build other projects, or you can record your fingerprints, right? There are a lot of things that you can do. Okay, so just for now, this is a simple job, and there are 2 buttons here. What is apply and what is save? When you do apply, the changes will be saved and you will still be in the same page. When you do a save, it will save and come out, right? That is what happens. Now go to the dashboard. You will see your first job here, the job that we have created. Okay, let this be as it is. Let's come to this left hand side, right? This is where we created the job. This is where you can go and add users. You can add users and you can create users and stuff. Then go back to this one and you have build history. What are the jobs that we have built so far? Everything you can see over time. Then this is a very important section that's called manage Jenkins. Here is where we will be going and adding our plugins. We will be configuring all our global tools and then configuring our systems, managing users, everything, global security, everything we will be doing it from here only. Okay, from here only we will be doing. So this is very important page. We will be working on this quite often. Then this section build queue, whenever there is any job, build job is scheduled, you will get an entry here saying for with the build number that it has been scheduled or it is run successfully or not, everything you will get it here. And build executor. So this is the only server we have Jenkins running. So right now the job, when I try to build, it will build on this same machine. And this machine has 2 executors. That means executor is nothing but it says how many concurrent jobs can run in this machine at the same time. Since we have only two jobs can run concurrently. If there is a 3rd job that is also scheduled, it has to wait until one of the job is complete. Okay, when you go to your organization, your Jenkins master will not have a build executor at all. Okay, or sometimes they will increase this executor to 2040 by increasing the system's resources also, like CPU, RAM and everything they have to increase, and they will give you like 30 to 40 threads because so many people will be using the enterprise Jenkins, right? That is in the sitting as a centralized place. Okay, so this is what your left hand side is and right hand side is. Any questions here, guys, before we go and try to build that job and see whether it happens successfully or not? Okay, you want to change anything in this, click on this job, go to configure and see here. You can go and change all the things that you have done. Okay, let's do one more thing also. Let's also put a sleep here. Sleep will actually do a sleep for 20 seconds, right? Save this. Okay, so what we are going to do, there is multiple ways to build the job. Click on the dashboard and you can scroll to your right here. There is okay, and there is a small arrow here. You can schedule for build. You can do it from here. Okay, let's do one from here. Let's do inside the job. Okay, and we'll see what happens. Let's click on this. Build is scheduled. See here. Since I gave sleep 20 seconds, it's just waiting for 20 seconds there. The job is getting executed. Okay. After the 20 second, it should be done. And okay, this job is already done. So if you go back to your dashboard and click again, you can see last success was one build, right? Last no failures, duration it took 20 seconds because we told it to sleep 20 seconds, right? Now, how do I go and see what is getting printed, the logs and stuff I want to see? Click on this, my first job. You will see the build number here, right? This is a successful one. Click on the build number. Click on the build number. It will show you the build number, who started this job, everything will be here, right? And go to the console output. You will see all the things that are printed there, right? This is what is happening. So whatever you enter there, it is getting converted to a temporary shell script and it is getting executed. These are the three things, two things that got executed and it printed my first job as success. Okay, so this is your first job. This is the one way to build the job. Second way to build the job is get inside the job, right? Go into the job and do a build now, right? Build is scheduled. Okay, see here down, build number 2, it has been scheduled. Okay, click on this and go to console output, and it's going on for 20 seconds. We have asked it to sleep, so in 20 seconds it will just wait there. If I did not give this sleep, what will happen? It will print this immediately, but you will not be seeing that the job is being scheduled. Automatically it will get completed. So just to show you that it is getting scheduled and it is going on, I just added the sleep there. Okay, so this is what your second job. This is another way to go ahead and write this job. So you can write these jobs. So this is your first Jenkins job, how you can do it. This is in Linux. This is my Windows. See, localhost is my host. Okay. Okay. My machine is a little bit slow because I have a lot of things running. Please bear with me. That is why your EC2 instance is faster. Okay. So now I have a lot of jobs. You can see all these jobs, right? You can see all the status of these jobs and all those things, right? Let's go and try to create a job. Since I have a lot of plugins, there are different options here. Okay, you will only see the freestyle, this one. Okay, my first Windows job. Okay, my Windows job. Go ahead and say okay. My system is a little bit slow. Please bear with me. Okay, now you can say my first Windows job. So the problem here is like Windows uses a different technique, right? So execute a Windows batch command, right? It will execute as a batch command and just say echo from Windows. Okay, either you can say you want to still continue to edit, just do an apply and it will get saved. When you get saved, it will come out. Okay, go try to build this guy. It's already done. Go inside and see it has started as admin. Go to console output, see what happens. It converts this into a batch file and it executes a command c:call this batch file, and from there it is just saying printing from Windows. That's all, and it is done. Right? You see the difference, right? So between Linux and this one, it happens in a different way. See here, this one creates as a shell script. it runs as a shell script. Here it runs as a batch file. Okay, so this is our first thing that we have done. Okay, next what we are going to do, we are going to install a plugin for GitHub, so that our GitHub, we can talk to our GitHub, right? Let's go back to our dashboard here, which is a fresh installation. And here one more thing you need to keep in mind, it is called weather. This is the status, this is weather. Weather report is nothing but if all the builds, everything is fine, you will see like this, or you will see sunny, you will see cloudy. I go to my this one, right? You will see a lot of different things there. See here, you will see like this, right? Build stability, 1 out of last 4 builds failed. Then you will get like this, right? Like this weather kind of thing. This is completely failed. Okay, this is the failed job, right? And if you see, these are all successful, right? So this is when you have a rainy also, you'll have all recent build failed, you'll get as a rainy kind of thing, right? So by seeing this also, you should be able to understand what happened to my jobs, right? So this is the status, this is the weather report, name of the job, last successful what time, last build number, last failure, and last duration, how much this job took to run, 39 seconds. And this is the build executor for this, right? You can click on this, it will get scheduled. Okay, now the first step that we are going to do, we are going to install our GitHub plugin. GitHub plugin. So as I told you, your Jenkins completely works on plugin only, right? So we have to install our Jenkins GitHub plugin. So let's go back to our this one. Go to manage Jenkins. Click on manage plugins. So these are all updates available. Means what are the things that you have already installed by default, right? Those are all available. Available means all the plugins that are available within Jenkins for us to use, right? You can search here. And installed is whatever is installed, right? We haven't installed anything, that's why it's showing empty. Go to available and search for Git and hit enter. What happened? Go to available and search for Git. Okay, see, you have Git. So you need to install this GitHub plugin. GitHub plugin, this plugin integrates GitHub to Jenkins. Select this. There are 2 ways that you can install. Either you can download now, install after restart, or install without restart. We can do an install without restart itself, right? See, all the plugins and all related dependencies will get installed by default. Okay, just wait for it to complete. Okay, just wait for it to complete. See, SCM, API, Git client, everything is there. Git is also installed. We put GitHub plugin. Okay, all this is done now. Now once it is done, how do we check whether it is done or not? Go back, create a new item. My first Git, and go and say okay. Now you see here, you get a Git. It's asking what is the URL repository, what are the credentials. If you are having a private, this one, right? You can put all the which branch it has to look at. Everything is here. So before this, you need to make sure the Git is installed on the Jenkins server where this is running. Otherwise, the Git will not work. Git will not work. Okay. So what we will do, we will go back to our Jenkins, our server here, and check if we have Git. Git is not there, so we are going to install Git. Sudo yum install git -y. Okay. Okay, I have my Git now. That's fine. Now, one more thing you need to note here. Let's finish this and come back, right? My first Git. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my GitHub, the one that we used yesterday, right? We will use the same thing. go to my GitHub and go to, I think it is 10.08 something we had, right? Okay, go to this one, updated 23 hours ago. Take this and copy this code, right? You copy this, come back here and go ahead and put it in your repository URL. Okay. See, it will validate and this error will go off, right? If you have some error, you will get it here. There are no credentials because we are using public one. If you are using a private one, you may need to use a credential, right? And here, what branch you wanted to refer to. For now, we have only the master branch. So we are referring to the master branch. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I have saved this. Okay, just go back to our previous job, the first job. Okay, one more thing I just wanted to show you. Just go inside this, go to console output, and there is something called workspace. It will create a workspace. So all our jobs will create a folder and copy into this. When you go inside this particular place, right? It happens both in Windows, everywhere, right? Everywhere, doesn't matter where you are, right? Go here, go to this build, and you can see the workspace. This is our workspace in Windows here, right? So just go back to this folder and see what's happening. See, my first job is there, right? So it copies the entire stuff to this place, and from here it runs. That is why now we don't have anything actually. Now once we do a checkout, right, from our Git, everything will be copied here. Okay, so this workspace is very important. So from this only, it's going to run all the commands. So that is why the Java, Git, and everything needs to be installed on the master wherever you are running the job from. Okay, now coming back to this one, we are okay. Let's go back to our Git. Now let me run this job first and let's see what happens. We are building this now. So let's see what is happening. Just click on this, go to console output, see what is happening. It went to the Git, it went to our Git, it started fetching. Okay, and you can see all the commits there. Okay, the last thing that we have done, commit merge branch feature into develop, the last one that we did, right? Something, and this is here. Okay, now if you go back to the same thing that we saw, right? Go back here. Now you can see your my first Git, right? My first Git. Now get inside this. You will see all the files that got checked out from my repository, from my master branch, right? Okay. Now we simply just checked out this, nothing we are doing, right? We did nothing. So now we have to do some actions. How we can link from here to there? There are two ways to link. Okay, there are two ways to link. One way is go back to the Git and go to configure and say to the Git poll SCM. What it will do, it will go and check for the specified time is there is any change on our repository. If it is there, it will build the trigger. It will just trigger our build. It will trigger our build. Of course, we don't have anything in the build. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute a shell and I'm going to sleep for 30 seconds. Just sleep for 30 seconds. So you can see this one, and also you can say echo whatever you want to do, right? Say my first job triggered from GitHub. Okay, just keep this. Okay, now coming back to poll SCM takes the format of your cron job, right? If you know your Linux, it's a cron job. If you are not familiar, if it's very hard for you to go through all these things, don't worry, there is a very easy website called cron tab guru. Okay, cron tab guru. Go here, you can see here. So when I say all fives, the first star, always start from the left. First value, star represents minute. Second one, hour. third one day, day of the month, fourth one month, fifth one day, day of the week. Okay, so you can say minute means it is 0 to 59. Hour means it is again 0 to 24, right? And then 23. And then day means 0 to 6. 0 is always Sunday. Okay, month means 0 to 30. Day of the week, you have this is actually 0 to 30, 0 to 30, and this is 0 to 7, day of the week. Okay, now for example, what I'm saying here at this point of time, I'm saying on day of the month 1, first day of every month. Which month? The third month in March. Okay, on which day I want to run? I want to run on Monday. So I'm saying at 4:05, at 4:05 on day of the month 1, that is the first of every month. On Monday, March, you run this job, right? So that is what this cron is actually referring to. So what we are going to do, we are going to give all 5 stars, which means we are asking this job to trigger every minute. So what is this? At every minute, right? At every minute is your 5 star. So what will happen? This, once you put here all these 5 stars, poll SCM, it will go and poll your source control management tool, whatever you have given here. Whatever you have given here, it will go to this and see if there is any change. If there is any change, there are no changes, no jobs will be triggered. If there are changes, jobs will be triggered. Okay, let's go and see this. Okay, I just put this, and you will get a warning here. It will ask you whether you want like every minute. Are you sure? Just say okay, yes. Right now, let's go apply and save these changes. I'm not going to trigger anything. What I'm going to do, once you check that poll SCM, you will get a git poll log. Click on this git poll log. You have to wait for a minute, right? You have to wait for a minute patiently, because we asked it to check only 1 minute once. We cannot go below that, right? See, it went there. It went to our repository and checked there are no changes. There are no changes, so our build job is not triggered. Only one build number 1 is there. That was the old one. Now, how do we do this? Now, if I check in, it has to go and find out some change. It has to trigger my job automatically, right? Let's go and try that. As I told you, there are 2 ways to do. We can either check in our local, make changes, or we can make changes directly there. Let's go down to our local and the yesterday's branch we had, right? Okay, where are we? Okay, okay, we are under the master branch, and this is where we were yesterday, right? So let me see what is there first. Okay, let's go to second. Okay, let's take this second. Now I'm going to make some changes here and check it and push. Let's see what happens. So before that, let me make sure git remote -v is pointing to the right repository. Now let's go and see vi second.txt. Right, do I insert? Okay, end, give this, and go and say apples. Okay, now we will go and say git status. You can see that is modified. So we will go and do whatever we did yesterday, git add. Then we will also go and do git commit -m and say added apples to second file, right? Something, some message, right? This message will appear there, and the last commit will appear in Jenkins also, right? And now once it's committed, now commit alone will not do anything. We will have to push it to our repository, because it will go and check that repository, not my local repository. So we will simply do a git status to make sure everything is fine. Now I'm just going to say git push origin master. Okay, just see now what happens. So this guy has already pushed down there, and don't worry, we don't have to go there. Just go to git polling and see. Every minute it will go and check there. Okay, wait for the next minute. It will go and see if there are any changes. There will be some changes there for sure. see, added apples to the second file is my commit. Okay, go and see, already job has been scheduled. See here, you can see job number 2 pending in the quiet period, finished waiting, and now it is getting scheduled because there are changes in our git polling. So what it is doing, it is already sleeping there, and see here, it's in the sleep state now. It went, it took, and see the last commit message we had added apples to second file. So whenever I check in my code, this job is triggered. Of course, whatever that we checked in doesn't make any sense. They're all just text files. But when we have our original files for building, then that will be the right way to do. But this is just to see how you can connect your this one. So now we have actually automated this, right? So I've written a job. I've configured it to listen to the GitHub repository. Whenever there is a change in the repository, this will get triggered, right? This is what your first small automation that you have done. Go to git polling log. You can see here no changes now. The next minute it has run, there are no changes. The changes is already gone. Now you can go and make some change again, and you can go and do that also. That's up to you, right? You can go and do this. Now there is some disadvantage with this method that we are doing, right? Can anyone say me what might be the disadvantage with this method? I have asked it to go and check. I asked this job to go and poll this SCM. Poll means it will go and poll, go and check, right? Go and poll this SCM for every minute, right? Every minute, whenever there is a change, then it will automatically recognize that change and trigger my job. So that is what in build triggers we gave, right? Now, what might be the disadvantage in this approach? Anyone can think of anything? Just think about, right, if you can find something. Just let me know. What might be the issue? So I'm saying that might be some issue. So what might be the issue? Okay, fine. Let's go and see what might be the issue. Sorry. Okay. So now what might be the issue here is, like, see, this is going to check every minute 24 hours, right? 24 hours it has to run. So your Jenkins thread needs to be always active and running and checking that. That's not the right way to do. This is one of the way that you can trigger the job. The best way to always trigger is whenever there is a change, your GitHub should initiate the change, initiate the trigger. Okay, this Jenkins should not go and check every minute. Okay, what is there, what is there, what is there, right? So Jenkins need to trigger, say, hey, there is a change. Now you build it. Now you go and build the job. So we will see how to do that also, right? For that, what we will do, we will first we have to create something called webhook. Okay, we have to create something called webhook. Let's go and create a webhook. So what we are trying to do, we are creating a webhook, and you are saying whenever there is a change in this repository, you trigger that job to Jenkins. Instead of saying the other way around, you go and check every minute, right? That is not the right way to do, but that is also one of the way that you can trigger your job. Okay, let's see how to trigger it the other way around, which is the common use case that we will be using it. Again, be very careful. You cannot do that in the local host, because this is in internet. This is on the internet. This is in your local host, right? From internet, it cannot reach to your local host. So it should have some public IP address. So it's better you can do it here. In your organization, everything will be in the same network. So there is no issue. Okay.
So Chandra, in offices, like in organization, which I mean way they are following GitHub
They will
one.
they will follow from GitHub to Jenkins, not from Jenkins to GitHub.
Okay.
But you need to understand there are both ways to do, because there may be some situation where based on some time you want to schedule, right? So you can say run this build job only on Sunday at 4 p.m. Those things you can do here.
Yeah, usually twice a week or something like that. In
Yeah,
that
something
case,
you
we can
can
do
put all the schedules there. But the the most common way that they use in our enterprises is whenever any changes happens to this particular repository, for example, it has to trigger our build, right? It has to trigger that job. So that's what we are going to set up, and I'm going to show you how to set up that. To set up that, both should be in the same network. Since we are working from home, I mean, we are working for our personal this one. My Jenkins is actually in my local machine, but my GitHub is in internet. So from internet, you cannot come to local, or from local, you can go to internet. The reverse cannot happen. That is why what will happen when you are trying with your local host, always try with pole SCM that we did. Whenever you are doing over the internet, the same internet routable IPs like EC2 or something, you can do the one that I'm showing you now, right? The webhooks can be configured using that. So go to settings, go to webhooks and add a webhook. Okay, so this is a payload URL. What is a payload URL? This is your payload URL 8080, right? This is your payload URL. So what should happen? It has to call this one, okay, and there is something called git webhook. And please make sure the leading slash is always given there, okay? Give this, and the content type, it will pass the payload as a JSON file, and you want to just push event or do everything, right? Have it as a push event. So whenever something you push into this one, it will add this webhook and it will trigger this job. Let's go add this webhook. Okay, what's happening? Recent delivery failed for some reason. Okay, git hyphen webhook. Let's see what might be the issue. So it's trying to send this payload, but it is not getting the payload. Just give 1 minute. We'll just check what has happened, right? It's getting a 403 error. No valid crumbs included. Okay. Okay, just go back to webhooks and just give me 1 minute. Let me check if I would have given correctly or not. Let me open this. Go to webhooks and go on edit here. Sorry, it is GitHub, not Git. Okay, GitHub. That's all. Nothing else. GitHub. Okay, just hold on for a minute and see if you are able to redeliver your message and go to recent delivery. Just hold on and you will be able to see this. Update your this one. Go to recent delivery and see if you can deliver again, right? Say redeliver. Yes, redeliver this payload. Okay, it is successful. Now we are okay. Now it has actually connected there. Now let's go and see if we are able to check this out, right? So where is my, this is my job. Okay, last build was 2. Just make sure you go inside this and remove this pole SCM. Otherwise, you will not know whether it has happened through pole SCM or this one. So you need to say GitHub hook trigger for polling. So it is actually, it is triggered from the GitHub webhook. Okay, check this box, do a save and hold on. Nothing will happen. Okay, nothing will happen unless you push something. Now build number 2 is there. Let's see if we are able to push this build number 3. Before that, let's do one more thing just to show you. Just scroll down and make this guy as 40 seconds, right? So that by the time we come there, we will know whether it has been triggered or not. It'll still be running. Otherwise, what will happen? We will not know whether it is running or not. Just watch this space while we check in, right? Let's go down here and say vi second.text. Okay, insert, go and insert grapes or apples, whatever you want, right? Okay, some line we are doing some change now. Just say git add and say git commit -m and say added oranges. Okay, you've added oranges. Now go and say git push origin master. Right now, just give me a minute. We'll just clear the screen and I will say push git push origin master. Enter this. Okay, let this push come. Let's see what happens. This is pushed. Yeah, this is pushed. So now there is a change. See here, automatically it got triggered. Automatically it got triggered. So whenever there are any changes to our GitHub repository, as soon as the change is committed, you will get the webhook will trigger this job. Webhook will trigger this job. Okay, so this is the way we need to do. As I check in, it has to get compiled. It should not go every minute and check the GitHub. Okay, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Right? That is one way to do, but that is not the right way to do. Okay, that we will be using if we are using from the local. The only way from the local to our webhook repository is to go through the poll SCM only. That whatever we did, right? That's the right one from local. Okay, now go back here. You will see this job is started by GitHub push by my username. Okay, we did not do anything manual. Everything is from the GitHub, right? And then go back to the console and you can see all this here. This is the commit message, last commit message. We had added oranges and it just printed whatever we gave here, right? So this is how you integrate your GitHub with Jenkins job. Now this job or the files that we are having inside the GitHub, they're all simply just flat files, text files of no use to us. But this is just to show you how something happens, how you can trigger a job. Okay, so this is what we need to know first. How to integrate, how to write a job, how to integrate with GitHub. Both ways, right? From here to there, from there to here. Any questions you guys have?
Chandra, this webhook is like a GitHub property or when I use
GitHub property.
Okay.
It's a GitHub property.
Okay. So if I use one of my server as a Git server, I can get the webhooks, right? So I'm installing Git on my server, and I'm using the server to my repository server. It is not possible to get a webhook, right?
No, you cannot do.
Okay, only
because see, it's not installing Git. It is from the GitHub, right? GitHub is hosted in the internet, right?
So it is property of GitHub, not a Git.
No, it's not property of Jenkins. It's property of GitHub.
Yeah,
and when you
GitHub.
install the plugin, you get an option to trigger it via the webhook.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what is the job that we have written to connect with our GitHub. So if you hit on GitHub hook lock, okay, the last time it checked, that's all. 140, this is my server time, right? 1:45:35 p.m. After that, we actually removed that. So just to check that, go and check your date time, and now it is 13:49. Okay, 5 minutes before it checked, nothing is there. Okay, even though it changes it found, we still don't see this one. Okay, so go and check here. You would have seen here we have removed this. So git hook trigger from git's SCM polling. Okay, so this is how you can do. Now, if I want to, let's go to this first job, and if I want to build this job every 2 hours, every 3 hours, right? Then you can go and say build this job periodically, right? Build this job periodically, and again you can put a schedule, just like this one. You can put a schedule. Please schedule this for every 5 minutes. right? You can say 5 for every 5 minutes. Put a 5 here. It said at every 5 minutes you trigger this job, right? Just go and put 5, then 4 stars, then this job will get triggered. So you want to trigger at 12 o'clock, right? You want to trigger at night 12 o'clock every day. And what you will do, go back to here, and here every minute you just say to every minute. So minute is 60. So it is like every minute, but the hour is not every hour. It's going to be 23. So you can say every minute past hour 23. So it will start doing this. It will start running that. So this is a stage 2 that we had, where you can go and put it like put your schedule and ask it to run, right? Ask it to run every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you want to do, right? So if you wanted to do every 10 minutes, go and run this, it will automatically get triggered. Let's put 5 minutes because we cannot wait till 10 minutes. So let's go and see if we can build this periodically. Okay, so 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, every 5 minutes. See, 0 to 59 in minutes, hours is 0 to 23, and 1 to 31 is days, and 1 to 12 months, and 0 to 7, 0 and 7 are Sunday, right? So you can, there are a lot of options here. You can go and check. Every 15 minutes you want to run H hour slash 15, every hour, every 15 minutes. Every 10 minutes in the first half of every hour. See here, they have given some example here. Once every 2 hours at 45 minutes past the hour, starting at 9:45 a.m. This is the one. So there are a lot of things that you can go and see here. So many things are there. And if you want, like, you can go and take a look at this, right? So now we have asked it to build every 5 minutes. You can spread load evenly by using H rather than 5. So you can just go and say, what is it? Every 15 minutes, right? Say H bar 5. That will be every 5 minutes. Okay. So the last run at this one 150. Next it would be at today 15:55, 155, right? Now what is the time we need to see on the server? 155. It will run in next 3 minutes, right? Go and save this and come out and watch out for this. The last build was number 2, so it has to automatically trigger build number 3. So this is one way to go ahead and schedule your build. You can say you run some ad hoc jobs, right? You want to do some backups, you want to do some cleanups at midnight, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, then go and write these jobs and schedule it in such a way it will trigger only during that schedule. So that is also possible. Okay. Fine. Okay. Any questions you guys have? We have seen a lot of things today. Okay. You have to work, unless you work on this one, it will be very difficult for you to understand. And whatever I'm doing, I know what I'm doing, so I know where to click and do what to do, but you have to try, right? That's very, very important. You have to try. Okay. So that's what we had for this. So as we told you, you need to install your Git plugin and go and install your GitHub plugin, and then you have to configure Git tools in Jenkins and write a new job to execute whenever check-in happens in GitHub automatically. That's what we have seen. So we will start with our Maven build tool next class, and we will see how it goes. Okay. Just let me know if you have any questions, want to clarify so far what we have seen. I will let you know.
So Chandra, if there is some issue happens during this build, so we can get the errors log also here.
You can get the error log. So now, right now, we
Okay.
don't have any files here. We are not compiling anything, right? It's just a text file.
Hmm.
Nothing is there
Yeah,
inside. So
normal.
once we set up the Maven and start using our Java project, then I'll show you if I intentionally miss some syntax in the code, it will fail to build. We will mimic that failure also.
Yeah.
Okay. And recently, I just came across some article that you can still do a webhook from GitHub to localhost using a interface, called NORC, right? Interface called NORC. Let's see if we can try that out, right? Let's go and see if I have that. Let's see if we can try that, right? Just give me a minute. Let's see if we can get that, right? Where is that guy? Yeah, here. It's called ng-NORC, right? So you need to install this ng-rock and download the zip file. And once you download, you need to do a lot of configuration. You have to put some tokens and open up the tunnel for whatever port that you want to open up. And what will happen is the GitHub will talk to this ngrok, and ngrok will talk to our local host. Right? That's what it happens. I'll share this. Okay, try this and see. The steps are there. Just try and see. Okay. So this is how you can use a webhook set for this one. So whenever you start a tunnel, they will give you a I don't know whether I have this. ngrok is not there. I have to start that in ngrok, right? ngrok. Okay, this is there. So we just need to start this, and we will get an IP, and we will go ahead and see. So for that, what we will do, we will start a tunnel on my HTTP 8081 because I'm running my Jenkins on that. Once you do this, see here, this is the one you need to copy there, and you need to give it in your webhook. Okay, so what it will do, it will forward to this one, and that will get forwarded to your local host. You got it, right? Guys, you there?
Is it asking us like a firewall looks like?
Yeah. Let's try this. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this, right? Let's do the same thing. Admin and go to this one. This is my local host 8081. That is fine. I want to create a new item, and I say my 10009 git. Okay, it's my freestyle project. Go here. What happens, right? We will add another webhook also. Okay, we will add another webhook also. So here, what I'm going to do, I have this git guy and copy this fellow. Put this repository URL. Okay, all this is fine. All this is fine. So trigger a GitHub hook. Okay, nothing will happen here. Just go and do a build. Say it's a Windows. So just do a. There is no sleep in Windows. Okay, there is no sleep in Windows. Okay, something like this, right? Okay, just save this and come out. This job should trigger when we do that. So for that, what we will do, we will try to go and add another webhook and see if it gets triggered, called for both local and this one, right? Go to settings, go to webhooks, right? GitHub -webhook, add a new webhook. So now my payload URL will be this one, right? My payload URL will be this one / GitHub -webhook. Put a slash here. Okay, don't forget the last slash. Application JSON, add this webhook, add this webhook. Okay, let's go here, wait for a minute. Go to recent deliveries. See, it's already able to deliver to your local. Okay, now let's go and try this out. Okay, what we need to do. Okay, let this be as it is, right? Don't worry. Let's go now and change something, right? Second dot text, and you put something called grapes, right? Something. And let's see what happens. Now you do a git add, git commit, -m. So these are all this doesn't make any this one, right? Like these are all just the text files, right? Once we start working on this one, push origin master. Okay, push origin master. See your first git is already in your triggered in the other hook, and go down here and see this is also your local host is also done, right? So this way you can do kind of proxy here, right? See here, proxy. You need to have this tunnel open, otherwise it will not work. Okay, Control C, if you do, it will quit. So now what happens if you go back? See, the job has been triggered by webhook, and go back here. This is my Windows. The last commit I add is grapes, and you see here, this is what it triggered in my local host. Okay, so now you can do from there to here by having an intermediate in the middle. You got the concept, right? So all that it needs is the somewhere from where the GitHub can reach out to. Okay, so this you see here your first git job. This also number 4 is running. Go back here to first git, and you can see the fourth one just ran now, and it is started by git push. Whatever we push, go to console output, it will show you the same thing. We added grapes, and this is our job. Okay, so you can do both in local using this kind of a proxy kind of thing. You can do this in your organization. You will not have this issue. The reason for that is your organization, you and your tools will be all in the same network. Okay, so you should not have any issues in kind of getting these things. Only we have issue when we try to do the when we try to trigger from our local host, right? And see, this job has already been triggered. Okay, this is started by a timer. We did not start. It was started by a timer. Go to console output, and it has just set whatever we have given, right? So this is how you can run schedules. Every 5 minutes this will run. So you can go and do, you can do wonders in this. You can keep on playing on this. Okay, you can keep play on. See the execution here, 155 2 155 2. Next it will be 25, right? Because we asked it to execute every 5 minutes. Okay, this is how you can schedule, you can poll, and you can call from there either over the internet or even to local. You use a proxy like this called ngrok is one of the proxy that I found it very easy to use, so I just got this out. Okay, any questions you guys have?
No, Chandra.
Sorry.
What is that? Good.
Chandra, Jenkins has a plugins for Bitbucket also.
Yes. Everything, right? It has the complete plugin suite for everything. Let's go back and check whatever you wanted to check, right? Go back to the dashboard and go to manage Jenkins and go to plugins and go to available and search for Bitbucket. See, Bitbucket pipeline, Bitbucket branch, right? Bitbucket, GitLab, you have for everything. Okay, all the source code is there. Even if you go for GitLab, see here, GitLab is one of the one, right? GitLab you have. What about ClearCase, right? Go to ClearCase. ClearCase is a source code management tool. That is also there. Some of the plugins might be old one, it might be retired, but you need to just take a look. Everything is there. Okay, it's not only this. You want to you want to integrate Sonar Cube, right? You want to put Sonar Cube, you can go and put the Sonar Cube scanner, which will cover your code coverage, right? So all those things are there. You can go and put all the things. If you wanted to do automation test case on Selenium or something, you can go and put that also. See, Mercurial, Selenium, right? So many things are there. See, Selenium report, all those. See, you go and put this Selenium, this one, you can go and do a automated testing. If you are a tester, you will use this. So there are n number of plugins to do, and we will be installing plugins as we need. So you know what we need to do to install those things. Okay, so that is how we can go ahead and set this out. Okay, any questions, guys, on this?
No, Chandra. So one thing, like whatever jobs we don't want, because we already done with so many, so we can directly delete also those jobs.
Yeah, you can delete the jobs. You can disable this project and you can delete the project.
Okay, disabled and delete the
Yeah,
project.
disable,
Okay.
delete. You can do that. And if you don't want to automatically trigger, remove the schedules also. You can do that also.
Okay.
Okay. And another thing I want you to show to you is, if you want to delete this repository, right? If you want to delete this repository, go to the end in the settings and say delete this repository. Okay, it will delete the repository. If you're having more repositories, you don't want to have the old ones, you want to delete, it will be all in red, so please delete it. That's why it is in the danger zone. Okay, it took a while for me to find out this, but it was there in the down. I did not scroll, so if you scroll down, you can see that. Okay, and right now username passwords are used very less, so they only use authentication tokens, right? They use authentication tokens, so you can go and see and get some tokens and all those things that you can do here, right? You can see all the things. There's a separate, this one you can go and do. Okay, so this is just on the GitHub, just for you, this one. Most of the things you will not be using it here. The GitHub webhook is the one you will be using regularly, and my strong recommendation or advice is not to change directly in the UI. Always try to go through your local repository. So both are always in sync. Okay. Otherwise, you have to pull and then you have to have it here, then make the change and push it and do all sorts of things, right? So this is what you can do. And also, if you are done with this, if you do a Control C, the tunnel will be closed. The webhook will not trigger. Okay. Just keep that also in mind. So this needs to be open, connection needs to be opened. Okay, fine. So only thing is that poll SCM that we did, please make sure you kind of, once you are done, remove that poll SCM. Otherwise, it will simply keep on going there and checking, right? So that is a waste of your resource. See here, every 5 minutes it already got scheduled. It's triggering, right? Again, if you put your Git plugin only, you will get options for Git, for this source code management, right? You can put Git and you can go and enter all your stuff here. Go to the advanced, you can give some names and you can also add some repository, one more repository, and you can also change your branch, specific branch you wanted something, right? You can do that, right? So these are all, this one, some you have your additional behaviors. These are all related to our SCM. You want to clean after checkout, you want to clean before checkout, right? So clean after checkout will go and clean your entire folder here, whatever it downloaded, right? We saw here, right? It has downloaded the entire stuff here. It will go and do all those things. Okay. So those are things that will, there are a lot of things you can play around. Okay. Any other questions that we have, that you have, please let me know. Okay. So only thing, please make sure don't install all the plugins. go through my video and do the steps that what we did here. The reason for that is then only you will know what plugin is used for what. Otherwise, what will happen? It will install all the common plugins and you will not know which plugin that you have to use, right? Because so many places I'll be saying you use this, use that, use this, use that, right? So then you will not see it in the list there. Okay. So that's on this one. And also please make sure you are installing your Java 11 first and then installing your Jenkins in your local. If you are installing it on EC2 machine like Linux, I will share this step, and also I will share this webhook steps as well. Okay, you can have this webhook steps as well. Okay, so you can go to the NGORG and you can log into the NGORG site here, and you can go and create a token. You can add an authentication token there, and they will give you a token. Add the token, then you can go and start this tunnel. Okay, fine.
And Chandra, you have 11 Java 11 exe also, no? You can
Yeah, I
compare
will
also.
upload the Java 11 exe, and if you want, I
Yeah.
can upload the Jenkins MSI file also if you need, right?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
I'll upload that both, and I will upload Jenkins PPT that I showed you today, and also this NGORG webhook stuff, and the steps to install your Jenkins in EC2. Okay. Okay. All right. So anything else, guys? So let me, since you guys are there, let's do the cleanup also on this, so we don't get charged, right? So I would always prefer my students to destroy as soon as they are done, and if they need, they can go and recreate, so they get used to, right, how to create it also. I'm going to terminate this instance, so nothing is going to happen. My webhook now delivery will fail. My webhook delivery will fail because I asked it to deliver to this address, right? This IP address. The IP address is gone now. That's all. Okay, this way we are good. So I'll upload this Java 11. I hope everyone has access, right? If everyone doesn't have access to the Google Drive, please let me know. Share me your Gmail address. I'll give you access to that. Okay.
Okay, Chandra.
Fine. Yeah. Anything else, guys, from anyone before we drop off? And we will meet next week, and we will continue to now. Next step, we are not going to use our old GitHub repository. We are going to create a new repository. We are going to put new Java project, and we are going to build the actual application and deploy to Tomcat. So the next step is to integrate, build that using a builder tool. Okay, build a tool called Maven. We will set up Maven, build Java, and we will deploy that to a Tomcat server. Okay, so it is like installing your application on a server. So we will do complete automation from GitHub till deployment to the server. Okay, that's what we need to look at in the next class. Okay, before that, please make sure you get yourself familiarized how to create jobs, how to integrate with GitHub, how to trigger jobs, and all those things, including Git, whatever we learned yesterday, right? Okay, fine. I think I'm done. So thanks, guys. Have a great week. And if you have any questions, please ping me in the WhatsApp. When you are pinging in the WhatsApp, please ping me your name and say that you are from 6 p.m. DevOps batch. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Chandra. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Chandra.